Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 5 of the Three Archers podcast. Sagittarius season has been amazing so far. Thank you for all our followers, our watchers, our listeners, our subscribers. If you're not yet a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Episode 5, today we are talking about positivity. So 2020 has been challenging.
Interesting.
Been interesting. I used to work with somebody, and every time something would happen, he'd just be like, interesting. He just never let anything ruffle him. Hilarious to me. But it definitely has been interesting, and we could all choose a lot of different description words and adjectives about it. But I know that there's always something positive to gain from a situation. Anytime something happens, even if it's challenging, there's at least a lesson learned. There's always something to be grateful for. And so I personally, I'll go ahead and start. I'm grateful for growth in 2020. Because anytime, we all know, we've heard the sayings and we know it scientifically that pressure creates diamonds, right? You can't have a diamond, you can't have a precious gem without that coal being put under an intense amount of pressure. And so it really does show you who you are and what you're made of when you're in a situation that has so much pressure, that has so much uncertainty, that has so much, just a new landscape, territory we've never been in before. Like, personally, we've never been in before. As a society, as a world, we've never been here before.
Right.
And so learning to navigate. And for those of you who may be listening, if you hear something in the background, we have a special guest tonight. Our youngest, he's not an archer, but he's like the child of an archer. So can you be an archer by connection, by default?
No, you cannot.
You cannot?
You cannot.
So we have Archer Stephanie, her youngest, with us tonight, Shy, and he is amazing. Although he
annoying,
not annoying. Although he is not a Sagittarius, we love him all the same. And so motherhood has taught us a lot, not just in 2020, but just being mothers, right? So I'm grateful for every lesson that my babies have taught me. I love to see Shy vicariously because I'm done. There will be no more children.
No.
But they cute. They cute, and I like to dress them. Like, I have a puppy, and she lets me dress her, so I'm thankful for that. Because, my babies are teenagers. Well, one is a teenager, and one, she told me she's a teenager at heart. And so my baby puppy feeds my need to have that mothering, nurturing, we can still wear mommy and me outfits. Don't judge me.
It's okay.
Don't judge me. So I know I got a little bit off track, but one of the things I'm grateful for really is the growth, right? Because you never really find out who you are and what you can handle until you're forced to, until there is no other option. Yep. And so I know that I knew I was strong, but I found out just how amazing I am because of God. It's not through any power of my own. I mentioned in previous episodes, I'm a Christian. So I know that it is by the grace of God, the strength of God, the connection, that relationship with God that got me through 2020, as well as other challenges in the past, right? So, we always say, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well.
It is well. It is well.
Well, chaos and confusion and situations that 2020 has brought, guess what? It's still all well. So specifically, sister, what are you specifically thankful for, or what's the positive lesson that you've taken away from 2020?
Time is precious. I know that people have been struggling through this pandemic about things, but what this pandemic has forced us to do is to slow down and take our time. It's given us time that we previously didn't have. A lot of us worked outside of the home. We were forced to quarantine in. So it is my hope, because for myself, I got to know my children on a very different level. I got to know them on a different level. I understand exactly what it is they need out of their education to make them successful. I reconnected with them in ways that I haven't since they were very small. Because I think we're the closest with our babies when they're young, when they absolutely depend on us. And throughout this pandemic, I have forged closer relationships with my daughters because those relationships were changed. They weren't broken. It's just I like little boys a little better than I like little girls, and that's me being perfectly honest. But my oldest daughter, she's going through puberty, so we bonded very differently, and she's transitioning in a way like she's calmed down. She was high strung. I said, she's gonna have to go with her daddy. But I've just forged these relationships with these little people, and my not so little people, because my oldest will be 17 in a few days.
Stop saying it.
Listen, I'm traumatized, but my relationships with them are so much stronger now. And not to brag, but God has given me the ability to excel in the midst of the storm. So I am grateful for the time that I was given, the time to improve, the time to heal, the time to grow, the time to learn, the time to form bonds that I would not have had the time to do otherwise.
Wow.
The time.
Yeah, time. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much success you have, how much, you can't buy time. None of us can't buy time. And so, like what you said, all of those things that happen during time, when you are using your time wisely, right?
Right.
We all have time. Well, I'm not gonna say all. Some, thank you to all of our essential and frontline workers, and everybody who sacrificed, who didn't necessarily get any additional time or break. I'm grateful, so grateful to you. But did you use your time wisely for those of us who did have time we wouldn't have had otherwise? So yeah, I like that. I like that. So speaking of those little people, God, sister Stephanie, you and Mr. What's wrong with your eye? What's wrong with your eye?
Girl, I'm just sitting here just looking at him run back and forth like flipping on his head. I'm like,
don't do my friend like that.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. What a valuable lesson that I've learned in 2020 is I already knew this, but it really showed me even more that life is short. We have lost so many people this year. So many people this year. And oh gosh, I mean I can name names all day, and people that I know, people that the world knows. Like we've lost a lot of people this year. So with the lesson of life being short, the biggest thing for me is to make the most of it. I really, really, really have come to the realization I gotta live each day like it's my last. Because the people that we lost this year, a lot of them, you know, some people were sick, some people, you know, who contracted COVID and they, you know, and they went on. I'm pretty sure at some point, you know, they kind of, they, you know, may have seen it coming. But for the other people who passed away, gun violence, you know, or, you know, everything else, they didn't see that coming. So, you know, and most of us don't. So I just want to live my life in such a way that it's, you know, when I do, it's okay. You know, when I do go on, it's all right. It's okay. I've lived. I've had fun. I've, you know, crossed things off that bucket list. That, you know, the insurance is paid up so the kids will be good. You know, all of that good stuff. I just want to make sure things are in order, and that I can, you know, that I won't be like, no, God, please, I ain't do XYZ. Let me go back. You know, like that. I just want to be like, all right, God, I'm ready. All right, that's what's up. So yeah, that's for me. Like, life is short, but so you gotta live every day like your last. I think I put on my caption for my picture in Jamaica, like, life is short, don't waste a minute.
And that's true. Like you said, we lost so many people. Like, I look at these COVID numbers, and not even accounting for, you brought up a good point, not everybody that passed this year passed from COVID. So, which I think I've said this to both of you at some point, like, I think that's the selfish part of me feels that's unfair. With something as major as COVID, why are people still dying from gun violence? Why are people still dying from cancer? Like, we don't have time for none of that other stuff. You shouldn't have to fight both of them. Mm-hmm. And so that's just my own personal selfish perspective. I know it's unrealistic, and that's fine. But sometimes when I look at these numbers, you know, because they're keeping track of the COVID numbers, they're very apparent. It just boggles my mind. Like, at this point, you know, we're going to run out of people soon. Like, not that the whole planet will be gone, but I'm just saying, if you're logging 300,000 or 1 million new cases every day, at some point you will have gone through the entire population of the world sooner rather than later. And so it's a numbers game. And, you know, even before COVID, I would always say, people would say, oh, you being so extra, like, that's not going to happen, because I'm very security conscious and things like that. And, you know, and I would tell them, you know, those people on TV that you see, they didn't think it was going to happen to them either. So you expect the best, but you prepare for the worst. You expect the best, but you prepare for the worst. So you brought up a real good point. If you are listening or watching and you do not have your affairs in order, if you do not have insurance, if you do not have insurance, nobody should have to have a GoFundMe at the end of your life. Okay? Let's not do that.
And insure your children.
Say it again.
Insure your children.
Yes.
We don't want to talk about these things. But what you don't want to do is be looking at your baby, gotta claim this body and can't bury your baby.
I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen
it.
I've seen it. You don't need that stress.
Let me tell you, I'm about to take out a second. Like, that hit a whole different way. I'm about to take out a second policy. Like, listen, I couldn't even imagine. First of all, I think it's unnatural for a parent to bury a child, period. Like, nobody should have to experience that. Nobody should have to. That is,
yeah.
I pray that nobody, you know, listening, watching, has ever or will ever experience that type of hurt, that type of pain. That's something different.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like Letitia said, it's been a time to really get to know our children, better, who they are now as opposed to who they were as little people, because they're all growing.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see them rise to the challenge, like how they handle this type of challenge. And unfortunately, there are children who have not transitioned well, just like there are adults who have not transitioned well in this pandemic, being cut off from others, and distance learning and all of that. I get all the challenges and frustration. I thankfully have children who have taken this in stride and probably done better in distance learning than they did in in-person, school. And so I'm thankful for the fact that they are managing as well as they are managing. You know what I mean? Because that's a whole nother aspect. And spoiler alert, season 2, we will definitely be having an episode targeted about mental health, mental wellness. And I saw a story about a young person who unfortunately took his own life based on what he's been dealing with since the pandemic. And, people are so quick to say, well, what the parents do. And if you have ever tried to deal with the mental health system, sometimes even the medical health system, it's not that easy to get help. It takes time, sometimes 6 months, a year, before you can even be connected with somebody, especially if you don't have good insurance. So just really thankful that in this pandemic, we are becoming more aware of how to prepare for our lives, living them to the fullest,
right?
And also prepare for when our life comes to an end. So just everybody's being very, very confronted with that type of awareness. So if there's one lesson that you feel like 2020 has taught you so well that you will never in life have to repeat, like you had passed this test, like Bishop says, when you go through tests, if you don't pass it, you have to repeat it. So what's one lesson 2020? Like, listen, I passed it, whether it was an A, B, or C, I passed it, and I am not going to have to meet that test again.
I will say getting money in the midst of a drought. Sure is.
Wow.
I concur.
Shout out gingerberry trinkets.
Listen, this year has been really good. I've done really, really well. And I thank God. I thank God for what I do. I've been able to do things financially that I've never been able to do in the midst of a pandemic, when there are people who have lost their jobs and all of that. I have been like more than blessed. And it's just shown me, like, you doing this now, what you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna do when things are, when the world is the way the world is, like what's gonna happen then? So I'm excited about that. But yeah, to reiterate, like, I passed the getting through in a drought. I passed that test with flying colors.
A plus.
A plus plus plus.
Oh, plus plus plus. Well, now. So I can concur. Like, we're all business women, business owners. And what's so crazy is we have been flourishing in the midst of a pandemic. And I forgot what Bishop called it, something in the midst of a drought. But the point is, I've heard this said in a couple different circumstances, that we're all in the same storm. All in the same storm. We're not all in the same boat. And we may not all be headed the same direction. And just like I said earlier, just being a good steward of this time? What have you created? What have you birthed? And I don't say that to shame anybody. Like, if all you did was get out of bed every day, you did that.
Right.
That's nothing to, sneeze at. Be proud of that. But some of us has really been able to, just dig in and take opportunities where they come and just really build something. I mean, for one, here we are on this podcast that was birthed during the pandemic. So nothing else we could say that part.
Yeah.
So Sister Letitia, what test are you are confident will not come again? You passed.
Ironically, it goes back to time for me. I am confident that I am not going to let people waste my time.
Yeah.
I used to be so patient with people and their stuff. Patience is one of my better virtues. Patience is not something that is afforded to foolishness. So in this climate, Letitia does not take kindly to me wasting my time. I cut that real short, real quick. And I'm thankful for it because people have a tendency of taking advantage of your kindness. And I have a tough exterior, so people don't really realize unless they're close to me that I am very giving. So because of that, I'm like, no, you playing, bye, see you.
I like that.
See you.
So basically what I heard you say is you passed the test of knowing your worth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're not about to waste my time. You're not about to waste my energy. You're not about to waste my, and maybe not even waste. Waste might not be the right word, but let's call it misappropriation.
Right, because you're not
better used somewhere else.
You're not understanding what you need or what has nothing to do with me, and understand that I say that personally and professionally. Because I have sent clients walking. You will not waste my time. Figure out what you want. Come see me. That's
Say
it.
get it right in your thoughts first.
Right. Get right in your head. Come have a conversation after you finish that. And I mean that personally and professionally.
Hey,
My coach moment of the night.
respectfully,
Respectfully.
guys.
That's right, Shy. He with it.
Right, yeah. Shy definitely co-signed that.
Right.
Stop me, don't do that.
See, we can play well with Aries. We can do that. So when you talk about this knowing your worth, right? So this season has had a theme, an undercurrent of the underlying issues that we face as we grow and just getting through that growth. So we've talked about ultra independence and the trauma response. We've talked about modern marriage and how to operate as first a whole individual and then as a team. And we talked about love languages and understanding, how you give and receive love. And we've also talked about I used to be promiscuous. So, sexual connections and how we use that sometimes to, fill a void that isn't the space for. That's not how you fill it properly. And so it's a journey, if you don't have a clear understanding of these things, if you haven't gotten to the space where you have real control of that, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. We didn't, the women who sit before you today had to become those women, right? We didn't come out the womb. Well, I was kind of, no, I'm not going to do that. I had to learn my lessons just as well. But when you said personally and professionally, I think that anybody who knows us really knows that we're the same people all the time. If I feel this way personally, I take that into my professional life. I don't bring anything into my professional life that I wouldn't support in my personal life as far as standards and ethics and, you know, all the things that really are core values. We try to take that. I tell people, I take me everywhere I go. I'm me. I bring me to the table. Yes. I'm not about to switch that up just for whatever situation this is. That might not be a situation that I need to be in if I can't bring me with me.
Right.
And Jesus.
Mm.
I bring Jesus too.
Mm.
For everyone's safety.
For say it again.
For everyone's safety.
Because I'm gonna tell you, all week I've been singing try Jesus. Because I throw hands. I mean, so, you know, God is not through with any of us yet. But here again, we're talking about growth, and we're talking about positive change, and we're talking about lessons learned. And so I know some of us are frustrated even now, all year, and even now. But I just wanted to, you know, highlight we're not throwing 2020 away. You know, it wasn't a waste. It showed us some very interesting things about ourselves as a society, a global community, a country, sometimes a state. And definitely, hopefully, you've been shown something about yourself as a person, who you really are. Because character is who you are when no one's watching. We've been home.
Yes.
We've been
Right.
home. Who are you?
Yeah.
Don't see you.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
God said he's shy.
What you doing? Okay.
I was about to say he was getting ready to explain it,
He
man.
was. He was about to tell me what he's grateful for. 2020. I know that's great.
Stop. No, See,
Said it's his turn to speak.
this is why
Talking long enough.
I don't
Listen,
like
listen, let me tell you something. This is real life. We are mothers. And sometimes, you know, the babies are a part of our work. I know I take my babies to work with me sometimes.
Excuse me. When we're on this podcast, I'm not a mother.
You're only in our truth.
Tell you something. Let me tell y'all something out there, listeners, viewers. She's showing off because he's been weaned a little over a week. Breastfed baby, and he has been weaned for like 8, 9 days now. So she's
Today's
showing off. Don't pay her no mind. Don't pay her no mind.
Today's his 10th. It's Sunday. Today is his 10th day.
Huh?
Look at the big boy.
Excuse us.
Look, for those of you that don't know, when they wean, that is a freeing situation.
Girl, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
It's newfound freedom.
I don't know what to do myself half the time. You know, like it's like nobody's hanging from my nipples. What?
So yeah, I imagine that is freeing.
Freeze a bird.
Y'all, she breastfed her children. She just elected to pump me instead of feed them directly from the breast.
I had to.
So she's like,
I definitely had to. My oldest, in the hospital, they give you the baby, you know, to feed them the first time. They get all that. If you're not familiar with breastfeeding or birthing, you know, never had a baby, that first milk contains the colostrum. It's all the vitamins and antibodies and stuff they need. It's very important that they get that. So they gave me the baby to latch. And my daughter was born with a full set of teeth inside her gum. They hadn't descended, but they were pressed against her gums shallowly. So basically, she bit me, and she bit me to the point where you could literally see the bite marks, the impressions of the teeth. And I immediately let the nurse know, you need to go get a pump. And from the hospital on, you can get this breast, you can get all this. Yep, from the bottle. We're not doing that. You're not going to bite me.
Poor thing.
She bit me. She bit me.
Poor thing. Imagine being bitten with a whole mouthful of teeth.
I can't imagine, because the first time it was a rat.
On the outside of the gums.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's what's not about to happen.
Oh, Shy. Lord have mercy. The boy done got into some Dove beauty cream.
He moisturizing. That's right. You take care of your skin, Shy, from birth. Because what they don't tell you, and I'm gonna have my little SD soapbox moment. For those of you who don't know, I'm a licensed esthetician. And let me tell you that most of the damage that you do to your skin is done in your youth. So those wrinkles that you get at 40, they formed by the time you were 18 in the deeper layers of your skin. So you really should start with SPF. I don't care what tone, what shade of brown you are, you need SPF too. Because UVA rays are the #1 cause of signs of aging. He is moisturizing his skin. He's keeping his acid mantle and his barrier function good right now. So he gonna be like 70, looking like 40, maybe 35-ish.
Girl, whatever. I gotta.
So I don't care about none of that.
He just rubbing it in his hands and keep smelling it like. That's all he keep doing. Keep smelling it. This boy crazy.
No judgment. That's my
You know
choice.
what? You know what? Listen, I was thinking this when you were talking. I think, yeah, when you were talking, maybe a few minutes ago, back to important lessons from 2020. I feel like as a whole, like as a people, I feel like we should have learned to focus on what's really important.
Absolutely.
Because being in the pandemic, it stripped away a lot of the outside stuff, the outside noise, even though we have learned to kind of like still try to incorporate some of that stuff, as time went on, because, we were just bored, we was tired, we wanted to do something, we wanted to wear something, we wanted to go somewhere, we wanted, but like really, really like in the nitty gritty of it, like we really should have learned to really tend to what's most important. And that's, I think, relationships. Relationships, family, all of that stuff, because that's what we've been having to deal with. Our kids can't go to school, they got to be home with us. A lot of people lost their jobs or got laid off or were forced to work from home. Again, you're around your family more. You know what I'm saying? Even like this past holiday, we had another spike. So a lot of people who usually traveled and all of that, went here and went there for the holidays. They had to stay home with who? Their families, their own, little close-knit family. So I think that's it. The most important lesson of 2020 should be appreciate your family.
I like it.
Appreciate your family. And again, back to what I said, piggyback off what I said, you lost a lot of people. What does that say? Appreciate your family while they're here. All of this stuff just brings you back around to family. That's been the most important lesson of 2020. Pay attention to your family. Keep close to your family. And make sure your family knows that they are important to you.
Right. And sometimes we forget to do that. You know what I mean? We forget to close that distance. I know I'm guilty. I'm not going to project that on anybody else. I know I'm guilty because
Mhm.
it's not like when we talked about love languages, I'm just not a naturally affectionate person. Um, so sometimes I forget, and you know, just earlier, I had to make sure that I made a point. Sometimes I forget to say something as simple as "I love you." It's not that I don't love you, but I don't always remember to tell people. And how important is that they know?
Mhm.
You know, it's not necessarily, maybe they know, but it's not going to hurt to reinforce that, just because you show it, because love is an action word. So even though I may have done what I think is a good job of showing you, it makes it so much more. And especially now where we can't be together physically with a lot of people that we're normally accustomed to, just reaching out and saying, "Hey, I love you.
Mhm.
I miss you. I'm
Mhm.
I'm sending, positive thoughts to you. I am praying for you." Just that. And so I know for me personally, that's a struggle. But charge it to my head and not my heart, because I
Mhm.
absolutely love my family. And when I say family, I'm not necessarily talking about the people that I share DNA with. There are so many people, you two ladies right here, that are family of the heart, right?
Mhm.
Like Stephanie, we go back to, like, your mom is my mom, basically. That's how far back we go,
Mhm.
you know. And Letitia, I find it so funny. You're my sister. I call you sister all day long. What's funny to me is when people don't realize we're not blood related.
Right.
People actually confuse us for each other. They're like, "Yeah, you look just like your sister." Do I now? Like, is that correct?
These is melanated folks saying this, ain't it?
Yes. These are people. I have a neighbor I've known my entire life.
Had a
She
whole
came by my
conversation.
house one day, and this neighbor had a whole conversation with her.
And then look crazy when he saw she and I.
Because
He
later
was
on that day, we were standing next to each other. So now it's like,
Poor thing.
clearly, she's not me. I'm not her. We're two different people.
Okay.
Two different people.
you
But
know,
we are very similar. I'm going to say it's the sign we born under.
Oh man.
But we are all very similar in, how we think, our thought processes, our priorities, and how we just move about in the world. We
Mhm.
tend to have same thoughts and same energy and same. So, clearly Sagittarius are the best. Like, I mean,
We don't even have to say that.
You know what, sister? I do want to piggyback off that, tell people you love them. What you don't want to do is be looking at someone getting ready to go into the ground. You've lost someone you love, and you're wondering if they knew how much you love them.
Girl.
That's what you don't want to do. You don't want anyone to leave this earth and you don't know that they know how much you meant to them.
that's tragic. That's really
Boom.
that is really, really tragic.
It is.
And honestly, that's a big reason why a lot of people, when people pass away, that's one of the reasons why people, some people just can't get over it, or just can't get, you never get it over someone you love and passing away, but it's sometimes people just can't get past it
Mhm.
because they know the time spent wasn't well time spent. They know that there's some things that they should have said that they shouldn't have, some things they shouldn't have said that they should have, all of that good stuff. So yeah, please take the maracas out of here.
Maracas. Is it Taco Tuesday?
No,
No.
I got them. I got them those from Jamaica, and
Oh, so we having a good time. Bring
She
you a
are.
box. Do I have maracas? I think I have some. Now I gotta go look. Started something.
Shy.
So, what you said is valid, right? Did they know that you love them? Do you know that they loved you? Because at this point, there's no discussing it. There's no resolution.
Mhm.
So we have the opportunity to resolve that. We gotta do it. We gotta get it right before, you know what I mean? And like you said, when you were saying about stripping away all the stuff, the stuff that's not that important, just stripping it away. Um, Sometimes stripping away beefs, like between you and other people.
Mhm.
Is it worth holding on to? Like,
Shy.
is it something that you can't make peace about? You know, I try really, really hard not to go to sleep, not to lay down with
Mhm.
anger in my heart about anybody. With I don't hate anybody. Like, I can't hate people. I might not like you.
Mm.
There are several people I don't like. Yeah, I don't like you. I don't like your ways. I don't like your, the person that you are.
Energy.
I don't like you. Your energy, yeah, because I'm
Like who you are as a human.
energy, and within, as soon as I meet you, I get a read on your energy. So that has a lot to do with whether or not we can be connected. But what I'm saying is, you know, hate, like to the point where you have to do harm or do violence. And we're seeing a lot of that going on in the country. We talked about grateful things in 2020 and lessons that we learned. Look at all the social lessons that we're learning with government and, Black Lives Matter and all these things that are happening. To have that level of animosity towards somebody, I just don't understand. You know what I mean? I can't muster that much energy to devote to your downfall.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's gonna sound jacked up, but I don't care about anybody enough to hate them.
Because
Like, and that
hate
sounds.
is a
I know
very
that
strong
delivery
emotion.
sounds horrible, but I don't care enough. Thank you. That's just an immense amount of energy. I don't have it.
Wait, but I knew you were going to say something like that. When you started talking, I'm like,
Here she goes.
mm.
I don't. I really don't. That's first of all, I don't even stay mad long, to be quite honest. Like, I'm just not one of those people that are mad for like hours at a time. I don't have that kind of I don't care. Girl, I don't care. I'm so unbothered.
Ooh, child.
And sometimes all it takes is for me to go off like one good time and I'll be like, all right, I'm done. I just
Ooh.
don't care. I don't whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I tell people that, if you see me go off, if you see or hear me go off, if I like gave you the business, more than likely whatever happened wasn't that important to me. It really wasn't. Because if it's something that's really, really deep, something that is very, very important to me, I'm more likely to just wash my hands. Like, I'm not gonna put any in it. Like, clearly you're not worth my energy.
Mm.
Because hate is such a strong emotion. The way that you love and hate, like if you flip the coin, love and hate, it, as strongly as you have to feel about somebody to love them, not like them, but love them, just as strong to hate them. How?
Stronger.
It's true.
How do you hold on to that? How do you keep that fire burning? The people that you have that emotion targeted towards ain't thinking about you at all.
I wrote a blog called F Your Feelings.
Oh God.
The title was Nasty Feelings. Because people get so caught up in their emotions. You know what I mean? People get so caught up in their emotions that they're missing the bottom line. You're missing something. You're exerting all this energy, this negative energy into this person, and then you've missed your blessing. You've missed the lesson. So now you're going to waste more time because now you got to repeat the lesson, like Bishop said, because you didn't get it the first time.
I done repeated a lot of lessons.
It's okay. It's okay. Because with maturity comes growth. We are absolutely women of growth, and you have to get there. When I was younger, I used to stay mad so long. I used to stay so angry with people. But what I learned is, first of all, stop having expectations of people. People are people. And the blessing in people is that we all have different perspectives. We all don't think the same. We don't feel the same. Our traumas are not the same. Our journeys aren't the same. That's what creates multifaceted experiences, right?
Yep.
Stop holding people to your standards. First of all, everybody can't arrive at your standards, which is exactly why there is such a thing as hierarchy. Everybody does not play this game at the same level. Sure. Everybody's experience level is not the same. So you cannot possibly expect people to come up with the same conclusion that you did because everybody's not built the same. I don't like to meet people where they are. So because of that, I know that there's people I can't deal with. Walk away with it. It's not for you. And it's okay. You just got to be true to who you are.
Yep.
Be honest with yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
That's true. That's true.
It's so true. That's true.
And a lot of people are not ready. A lot of people aren't ready to hear that, to receive that. That it's not so much about you as it is about who I am, who I'm willing to be, and how that doesn't fit with what you are about right now. So it's not people, I think sometimes people take it that's, you hating, or you got an attitude, you don't like them, you hate them, whatever, but it's really not. It's as simple as I'm just moving in the lane that I'm in and allowing you to move in the lane that you're in. It doesn't require me. Just because I don't want to sit at your table doesn't mean that I done put up band posters about you. You can eat, you can excel, you can get prosper.
Just not with me.
Well, I just not with me. It's okay.
Right.
It's just not with me. This is not a beef. You just can't be with me. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
In the subpar lane, just not with me.
Yep.
What you say, like live long and prosper? Yeah, live long and prosper. Do you? I'm for it.
Yeah.
And everything's not about you. People take things personal. That shouldn't be taken personal. Because it's probably not about you. Because I promise you, very few things that I do is about anyone else. I am very, very, very self-aware.
Yeah.
But I am very in tune with Letitia. It has nothing to do with you. I've just adjusted myself accordingly.
That part.
Fun.
Sha said him too.
Exactly. He's adjusted himself accordingly. He's playing in his lane.
No, he's not. Right now, he in my lane. Right now, he's in my lane.
Better, Stephanie.
Why is that
right now, he's in my lane.
I'm weak. It sounded like he was co-signing all of that. Don't do my friend like that. We gonna add him next season.
No, because it just had to be me. It just had to be me. It had to be me. I had to be the one that had the child that had tantrums all evening and would not go away to let me do the podcast quietly.
You didn't hear the sound, the audio. I just told teenagers to go away and be quiet. And they know that I'm filming. And why are you even, you shouldn't be within 2 floors of me. This house is big enough that I shouldn't hear you at all.
Yeah, I had children under and over me.
Why? Why are you? Why?
But where's your kids? But where's your kids?
But you have a toddler, ma'am. He's a toddler. And she.
But where's your kids?
Who knows? They ain't here.
All I know is Sha is officially a co-host season 2. Fight me.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Don't look at me.
Sha, go ahead. He want to be seen so bad. No. No.
My friend used to talking to me. So, ladies, we're gonna wrap this up. So, what I definitely want to make sure that we let our viewers and our watchers and our listeners know is that if you have enjoyed our perspective, if our perspective has sparked conversations amongst you and your own group, Sagittarius or not, if you are interested in having us discuss your particular perspective or your particular situation, you can ask an archer.
Ooh.
So you can contact us through our social media. You can contact us at 3archerspodcast@gmail.com, at 3 Archers Podcast YouTube, at 3 Archers Podcast Facebook, at 3 Archers Podcast IG, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts.
Oh,
It's something.
Oh,
If you search at 3 Archers Podcast, we will come up. However you want to contact us, we are there.
Yep.
If you want to discuss your personal topics and bring our unique perspective to that situation, you are hearing and seeing from professional life coaches. We are trained in that area. We have a wealth of knowledge and experience. And as long as we got the Sagittarius on our side, we are authorized to assist you. Right? I like it. So definitely, our seasons are based on topics that we have decided we want to talk about, but we are open to having way more conversations. So again, ask an archer. If you were tuning into us last week, hopefully you can put up your hashtag special friend. Let us hear about that. You can also always put up hashtag ask an archer. Don't stand up now, sister. You and that special friend, yeah, I forgot. You thought I forgot. You thought you was just going to
listen. Special friend is still making me weak.
She thought she was really going to get away with that.
Listen, y'all. We had so much to talk about. I had to tell my special friend about the special friend, and we had to have the whole talk
about the special friend.
About the special friend. Well, Tisha's not doing that in 2021.
Or 2041 or 2061.
Oh, look at God. How he done kept you till 2041. And ain't he good?
Okay.
So we are on our way to 2021.
Yeah.
So we hope that this season has thus far been a blessing to you. We will continue to meet here Sundays at 7 p.m. Although we won't be discussing official topics or chat, we will be checking in with your personal questions, your situations, personal advice to you, and just continuing this conversation, because this is women chat. This is women chat. This is grown-ups. And so if you don't have a sister circle, if you don't have a Sagittarius in your sister circle, we are here for you. All right?
We are here for you.
We are here for you. It's not your fault. We are willing to. Oh, there's my friend.
Hi, Shy.
Look at that smile. That's all he
Oh
wanted.
no, Sean,
That's all he wanted. You terrible. Our friend from us. All right, so we are ending our episode here. Thank you again to all of our listeners, watchers. I'm grateful as always for you ladies. This is really good. You brought to light some lessons that I really need to take some time and marinate in before the end of 2020 and really see where the growth is in that particular area. So thankful for your perspectives on that. We pray that God continue to see us through into and through 2021.
Absolutely.
So continue to stay safe out there. Please wear your masks. Please wash your hands. Please social distance.
Inside, people. Stay inside.
Stay inside. Cousin Brandon said, stay inside. We in Baltimore, and our mayor, Brandon Scott, has said,
He's going to be your uncle.
yeah,
And he got the blackest haircut on the planet.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do that.
I like it.
The internet is always coming for my cousin. Don't do that.
I like it.
Black Lives Matter.
I like it.
Power to the people.
I like it.
The black
He's
man
black.
has a
He has an afro. He's black. He has an afro, and now he got the crispy shape.
So,
yes.
so I'm gonna ask this, right? What do y'all think the chances are we can get a fist pick?
Listen, because if he do it, I'ma fall out. I'm telling you. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Somebody send him an email.
Absolutely. I'm doing it right after the podcast.
Send him an email and tell him do that.
I don't like that. Listen, I temporarily lived when Martin O'Malley was mayor. I temporarily lived across the street from him. That police detail, I'm not with it. You're not about to send them after me, no man.
I'm gonna email and be like, you should get a fist back.
Oh, he should. I'm the fact that he did that, I like that. I like the afro with the shape up. I like the afro with the shape up. That just I said, oh, I like that.
I'm saying if he does it, he falls right in line with our renegade governor. We have a Republican.
Uncle Larry is not here for y'all. Listen, I know we supposed to have ended the episode. We all track, and I don't even care. Because listen, I have never in my life heard a governor do an official commercial.
Wear the damn mask.
It takes me out every time. I'll be in a store, just you know how they play the little radio, the little Christmas. I love Christmas music. Like that's my jam. I'm gonna be in Christmas music till like March. Mind your business. But I'll be in there and it'd be like jingle bells, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, wear the damn mask. This is official.
I
love it.
Is a gangster.
Okay.
I love it.
On Twitter because he wowed the president out and everything. He's a G. He is a G. And he's Republican.
Larry is invited to the cookout.
And he's a Republican.
Uncle Larry is invited. I don't care what y'all say. I know he's a Republican. I know he is non-melanated. Uncle Larry can come to the cookout.
Absolutely. He
can't stay. Like he gotta leave while it's daylight.
Yeah.
Vegas game starts.
He ain't coming if it's more than 10 people there.
He mean it.
You better have your mask on.
He wear a mask around his own people. Like
as do I. Like the only reason I'm on mask is because this is virtual.
Facts.
If you know me, you know that mask be what? I don't play like that.
Double mask.
Them COVID tests ain't no joke.
So I mean, like our point. I know we be so random.
All the way off the beat path.
But you know, the point is just do it to keep yourself safe. And maybe you feel like, oh, I don't have nothing, but how do you know the person next to you doesn't? So just please
wear the damn mask.
And with that, we are signing off.
Good night.